Many amateurs struggle with how to practice. We're going to focus on effective partner drills, what to practice, and how to improve your game quickly. Alright, you two start with a forehand drive rally. Treat him as a training partner, not a coach feeding you balls. Let's see how you rally. Your timing is off. Xiaoyu, you're rushing the shot, hitting it before its peak. Xiao Kuai, you're lifting the ball instead of driving it, which sends it high, and then Xiaoyu tries to rush that high ball. This creates a bad rhythm. She hits fast, you just lift it. Your stroke becomes unstable because when she lifts it high, you try to generate power, and when she hits fast, you can't keep up and just lift it back. This is a fundamental timing issue. The second problem, Xiaoyu, is you're using way too much power for a cooperative drill. You need to have a softer touch. Single ball drills are for stabilizing your stroke mechanics and developing feel. Multi-ball training is where you focus on shot quality. If you start with that much power against a partner of similar skill, the rally will break down in a few shots. You need to control your power. For instance, if we both use 30 to 50% power, the rally is smooth and comfortable. If you hit too hard, your opponent will feel jammed by the pace and have a difficult time. Xiao Kuai, stop lifting the ball. A drive is a drive. Your hand is too low, so when you swing up, you naturally brush the ball. This kind of weak, brushed shot is very common among amateurs and makes it very difficult for your partner to complete their own stroke. You need to drive forward through the ball. A forehand drive is about using your partner's pace. The rhythm is 1-2, 1-2, not a brushing motion, which turns it into a loop. Engage your core and use your waist rotation to power the stroke. Xiaoyu, a softer touch doesn't mean no power. It means at the moment of contact, don't just absorb the force, you need to meet the ball and drive it forward. Also, your backswing has an issue. A soft touch doesn't mean a slow stroke. You're falling behind the tempo. The softness is at contact, but your backswing can still be quick. A soft touch isn't about slowing down your entire motion, or you'll get jammed after 2 shots. The tempo stays the same, only the feel at contact is softer. Xiao Kuai, you're rushing way too much. Focus on the rhythm. Count 1-2 in your head like I did as a kid. 1-2, 1-2. Xiao Kuai, you're still too fast. Xiaoyu's timing is correct now, but yours is still too quick. The tempo should be a steady 1-2, 1-2. That's much better. Stick to that 1-2 rhythm. Excellent, soft touch, very good. A rally is about redirecting pace and building a stable stroke framework. Only in specific power drills should you use full force. If you use more than 50% power, your partner must be at a much higher level to keep the rally going. Amateurs practicing forehand drives should spend more time rallying than picking up balls. But most players only manage a few hits before the rally ends. So, how do you adjust your placement? First, maintain consistent stroke mechanics. Whether it's 1 shot or 1,000, your form must be standardized and fixed. The reason for poor placement is that after a few shots, the player's form breaks down. So, strive for consistency in every stroke. Second, when your partner's placement is off, you must use your footwork, adjust your racket angle, and aim the ball back to their hand. Think about feeding the ball to your partner. Otherwise, if you both hit erratically, the rally will die in 2 shots. Consistent strokes lead to accurate placement. When your partner is inaccurate, use your footwork and consciously control your placement to make it comfortable for them. Even if they make a bad shot, if you give them a good ball back, they will gradually improve their accuracy. Much better. But Xiao Kuai, you still have one problem, you're lifting the ball too high. A drive should have a flat trajectory. Your arc is a bit too high, which disrupts your partner's rhythm and causes them to rush the shot. Even if you control your power, your direction of force must be forward, not upward. The reason Xiaoyu rushed earlier was because he saw your high ball and instinctively attacked it. That's it. Now Xiaoyu is much more comfortable, right? Excellent, now you've got a real rally going. This rhythm and form are much healthier. This way, both of you can improve, and you can build consistency and feel for the ball. Let's look at your backhand next, and then we'll cover how to practice your loop. Okay, show me your backhand to backhand rally. I know many people act as hitting partners, but a hitting partner is not a coach. They just rally with you or do multi-ball for a low fee, and they get to practice too. Your backhand issue, Xiaoyu is decent, but against a higher quality shot, your rhythm will fail because your body is bouncing up and down. Look at my body posture. You're bouncing vertically. Once the ball speed increases, you won't have time to recover, and you'll hit the net. In a backhand rally, you must keep a stable base and drive the ball forward. Don't bounce. Second issue, Xiao Kuai, you're standing too close to the table. Standing that close can make your shots heavy or dead, causing your partner to hit the net easily. You need to stand back a little. You must execute a full stroke. If I use 50% power, he returns with 50%. That's the foundation of a healthy rhythm and technique. Your backhand backswing should be outside the table line. We are not just feeding each other, we are both executing our strokes. If you hit too soft or too hard, it's difficult for your partner. Find a comfortable rhythm for your partner where your power levels are matched. Then the rally will feel good for both of you. If one person hits hard and the other soft, the rhythm will feel awkward and you won't be able to build a rally. To rally effectively, match your partner's power. If he uses 30% power, I use 30%. Even if it's light, the rhythm is correct. If I use 50%, he uses 50%. You have to match the tempo. Exactly. Good shot. Now you're synchronized. If you feel your shots are too hard or too soft, adjust immediately. Find your contact point and position, and work together with your partner to find a good rhythm. If you feel uncomfortable during a drill, speak up. Otherwise, your partner won't know. Communication is key. Good ball. That's excellent. This is how you should be practicing. Everyone, remember this, this is the most basic forehand and backhand rally. Now, let's move on to looping, which is more challenging. Xiaoyu, you loop. Xiao Kuai, you block. If you practice this way, it looks okay. But the problem lies with your looping technique. Your tempo is too fast. If you loop like that, you'll miss shots in a real match. In a match, this rushed rhythm won't work. After you serve and the opponent returns, you won't have enough time. For looping, you must first step back from the table. The most important thing to emphasize is timing. Master this timing. Step back, about a meter from the table, and use this timing for your loop. Wait for it, wait. Yes. Right. Wait for the ball before you loop. Your forehand has its own proper rhythm. From a meter back, wait for the ball, pause, then loop. In a match, if the ball is fast, react quickly. If it's slow, use that pause to time your loop. Most shots in a match won't have a consistent rhythm. They can be fast, heavy, or spinny. If your forehand lacks that moment of pause, you essentially have no timing. This will lead to you rushing both fast and slow balls. You must loop with this patient rhythm. Don't drift further back, maintain your position. Good. Adjust your timing, find the contact point. Beautiful. Trust me on this. This contact point might feel late or passive. But in a real match, this is the timing that professional players use. Now, let me praise you both. First, Xiao Kuai's block is very consistent, though placement needs more work. Second, Xiaoyu, your timing has improved. You're waiting for the ball, not rushing, and using your footwork. These are all good habits. In amateur practice, you can start by ensuring stroke stability. Just like teaching kids, you can set a goal of 5 or 10 successful shots in a row. Once they hit the target, catch the ball and encourage them. Otherwise, a player might lose focus, and their form will become sloppy. A second method, once your consistency is good, is to practice 3 rallies, 1 power shot. For example, 1, 2, 3, power. 1, 2, 3, power. Nobody can hit with full power on every single shot. That requires a professional level of skill. At a higher level, you can practice variations like 2 power loops in a row, then 3 rally loops. You can't just go all out, or your partner will feel overwhelmed and won't get any meaningful practice. If you're always hitting with power, your partner learns nothing. As the blocker, you must have the mindset that blocking is also a form of practice. Against players under 1800 rating, a solid block can win you points outright because they will make unforced errors. Okay, you two try it. 3 rally balls, then 1 power loop. Let me see. Your rhythm is off. Do you ever feel like your opponent's block is impossible to loop and feels really awkward? Here's the problem, Xiaoyu. When she loops, you keep returning the ball by backing off. That kills the pace and throws the timing off, making it very awkward for your partner. A good block makes contact on the rise. This allows the attacker to use the pace of the ball and loop comfortably. Watch my contact point, on the rise, on the rise. Your current block results in a very short, dead ball that's impossible for him to loop. If the placement is also erratic, the rally is over. Keep your racket angle closed. You can't block with that kind of motion. You need to keep the racket angle closed and absorb the ball's energy. Your hand must be relaxed. Your grip is a death grip, the ball will fly off the table. See? My hand is very relaxed. Yes, that's it. Keep the racket angle closed and hold your hand higher. Your starting point is too low. A spinnier ball will kick up higher off the bounce. Yes. Good ball. This kind of hands-on correction is crucial. Xiaoyu, very good. See, why can you rally now? Because your partner's block is comfortable, you can execute your stroke properly instead of having a floaty, unstable motion. Now, backhand block. I'll loop to half the table for you. Stop. After moving, your hand needs to stay soft. When he loops to a wide angle, why do you suddenly use power in your block after moving? You can't block that way. Be gentle, contact the ball early, and use a soft touch. Yes, soft touch, soft touch. Good ball. That's it. Good ball. When blocking, your timing must be on the rise so your partner can use the pace, and your touch must be soft. Now try a 2-point drill, 1 backhand, 1 forehand. When you do this drill, always start by hitting to your opponent's backhand, as most points in a match begin there. Furthermore, when you push to their forehand, it allows them to practice their down-the-line loop. This drill is very practical for match situations, as points often start from the backhand side. Good, keep the rhythm. Rhythm, don't back away from the ball. Stay in front. Good ball, very good. In this type of drill, the attacking player must focus on footwork. Your partner's shots won't be as precise as a robot's. The placement will vary, so you must move your feet and not expect the ball in the same spot every time. As a more advanced hitting partner, you can introduce variations in placement, height, depth, and speed to better simulate a real match. That's a match quality ball. If you always feed to the exact same spot, it's no different from a robot. Let me clarify, when you want to work on single shot quality or a specific technique, you must use multi-ball training. So, in a partner drill, how do you practice serve and attack and serve receive? Let's cover that. To practice the third ball attack, after you return the serve, don't play the next shot. The rally stops there. To practice the third ball attack, the receiver should vary their returns, sometimes long, sometimes short, or use a flick. This allows the attacker to practice against a variety of shots. For a lower-level player, you can simply feed them a consistent push to a fixed spot so they can practice their attack. Use a box of balls for this drill so you don't waste time picking up one ball at a time. For instance, if he wants to practice his backhand attack, you just keep feeding him balls to that spot. See? This is how you drill the third ball attack. And how do you practice serve receive? If your partner says their backhand loop against backspin is weak and they want to work on it, then you just serve backspin to them repeatedly. Correct, then serve another one. If he spends an hour just practicing his backhand loop against backspin, how can he not improve? The reason players struggle with serve receive is that they miss one shot, and before they can adjust, the next serve is topspin or short. They never get a chance to build a feel for one specific return. So, you should serve to the same spot repeatedly, letting them practice the same loop over and over. The difference between looping 10 balls and 10,000 balls is immense. You cannot effectively practice serve and attack or receive in a real match. If you do, a year later you'll still be reacting slowly, which is why you're not improving. Serve and receive are the most critical skills for amateurs to drill. When practicing, do not play out the point. That's just playing a match. You must focus specifically on mastering that first shot. Amateurs can't realistically think 3 or 5 shots ahead. The goal is to successfully execute the first attack. The rest is basic rallying. At most, you might think about changing placement on the next shot. Solve one problem at a time. You can't practice everything in one session, you'll end up mastering nothing. Beginners should focus on forehand, backhand rallies and two-point drills to build feel and consistency. Plus continuous forehand looping. That's it. For intermediate players who struggle in matches with looping, pushing, or serve receive, you must break down each skill and drill it individually. As for advanced players, they typically don't have a problem finding good training partners. Most people fall into the first two categories.
对不对？那你看，为什么业余他拉不起来？因为他一上来，
太对了，一点节奏都没有。
经常下。对。
拍球，
开始
不练了，
俩人生气了，不
练
练，
拍别
练不起来，练不起来。
练那玩意儿没用。然后